It seems like you have a very, very busy spooky season coming up, and I am here for it.
Well, whoever would have thought that the little Southern Baptist boy would grow up to be the queen of Halloween?
Right? It's a good title to have.
Yeah, oh, I love it. I'm going to embrace it.
And first off, I did want to just talk a little bit about your upcoming role in Hocus Pocus. I know it's been announced that you're in it. We've had Kathy Najimy talking about how excited she was to have the three of you on set for whatever this scene is going to be. But can you talk a little bit just about how it came about? Was there an audition process, or did they just know they wanted Ginger?
Well, they knew they wanted Ginger. And it was
Good.
only that it worked out the way it did because Anne Fletcher, who directed Hocus Pocus, also directed Dumplin', which I was in on Netflix with Jennifer Aniston a couple years ago. And I was playing Ursula in this Disney Villains tour in the UK last year. It's in the middle of the night, and my phone just starts blowing up. Like, why is Anne Fletcher blowing up my phone? So I pick it up and I text her. I'm like, girl, it's 3 a.m. What do you want? She said, Ginge, I've created this role. I really want you to become be a drag queen version of Winnifred Sanderson. You're going to get in a fight with Bette Midler. And I want you to give us a list of girls that you would like to work with as your sisters. So I gave them like 3 names for each of the girls. And they ended up picking 2 from that list with Cornbread and Kimora Hall. And like the next thing I know, I'm on set dressed as a Winifred Sanderson with Bette Midler standing not 10 feet away from me. It was the most surreal thing. But the 3 of them, they didn't give us a chance to be nervous that first day. Because the second we walked on, it was right after All Star 6 finished. Okay. And Bette Midler goes, "You were robbed," with those teeth and nails and everything. And they really like set us at ease and made us feel like we were on their level, which PS, we definitely are not on the level of those 3. I don't know anybody that is except them.
It's an iconic trio.
Yeah, absolutely. And they made us feel just as iconic. And you could tell that they had not only appreciation for what we do as drag artists, but who we were on RuPaul's Drag Race. You could tell that they really like dove deep.
I was going to say, I know Kathy talking to EW was just saying how much of a fan of the show she was and how excited she was to get a chance to work with the 3 of you, which has to feel nice.
It does feel nice. Well, and Kathy and I did Dumplin' together too. She was in that movie. Yeah. And my very first day on set for that one, I wasn't even on set yet. I went for my costume fittings, and I'm sitting outside the little trailer where they're doing the fittings, smoking a cigarette, like the bad girl that I am. And she comes up and she grabs me by the hand. She's like, "You come with me. I want to introduce you to somebody." I'm like, "Okay, this is Kathy Najimy. She's kidnapping me." She takes me across to the biggest trailer, bangs on the door, and it opens, and there's Jennifer Aniston. And she's there, and she goes, "Oh, Ginger, it's so nice that you're doing our little movie. I have something for you." She turns around, she comes back with a coffee. She said, "I read in an interview that you survive off of coffee, so I got the best one in the town."
Thank you.
I know. I was like, y'all keep treating me like this as much as you want.
Right? No, just being around the 3 of them in this, I think I would be geeking out so hard. I can't imagine how, like, trying to keep your cool and like not be a fangirl.
Well, like I said, they didn't give us a chance to do that at first. Yeah. It wasn't until like the week that we were there was wrapping up. We're all standing on the lawn of this place where we're filming, and they go 1, 2, 3, fly, and all 3 of them just take off flying over our heads. And that was the moment where like just tears streaming down my face. I was like, 9-year-old me is living their best life and dying all at the same time. Like I never thought I would get to be part of something that was so big. It's still so big in pop culture, but particularly in the drag community, it's something that we've really connected with over the years.
I was going to say, I know you've obviously done Winnie in drag shows before, you've done tours before, but have you ever done like Bette imitations before? Or
no, I haven't. And it's so it's so interesting because when I got cast in Dumplin', I was playing a Dolly Parton impersonator, which again, other than the Southern drawl and like the giant tits, I never thought that I would, and I do tend to speak in sayings that look like they should be stitched on throw pillows, but I never thought that I would be a Dolly impersonator. And then again with this, like, of course, I've played Mary, I've played Winifred. There was one horrible Halloween show where I had to play Sarah Sanderson and the corset that didn't fit. So I've played all the girls, but never Bette Midler. And it's something that it never clicked in my head, like, oh, this is something I should do, until I spent time around her and I was like, I get you. I get your sense of humor, and I think I could do this.
I was gonna say your snatch games are always legendary. So not that you needed another person to throw into your arsenal.
Hey, you never know when they're gonna call, so I can go back again.
Right? UK versus the world or whatever they end up calling the next
I'll
one.
do whatever. They keep calling, I'll keep showing up.
And did you go to Salem for this, or did they film? Where did they film? I guess where your part was.
We filmed in Newport, Rhode Island.
Okay.
So, not too far from Salem,
It's
but
very
the
similar
actual scene
too.
that we do takes place in Salem, in the world of the movie. So it was very interesting. I had just gone, honestly, like 2 months before. I was in P-Town for the whole summer. I've done that 2 years in a row. And we took a day trip over to Salem just to see where everything had been filmed. So when I got the call to do it, I was like, oh, I've already been there. I know the layout. This is going to be great. I know exactly what we need to do, what we need to see, what we need to eat. It was totally different.
No. I'm from Massachusetts, so I have done the Salem trip and the tour around all the houses and everything for Hocus Pocus. So I'm very excited for this one.
It's so interesting when you go and look at the places where they filmed the first movie, and you're like, they look so gigantic on screen, like this vast sprawling place. And honestly, like, how did you fit a camera in that tiny little alleyway to get that massive shot of that school?
No, it's a small town.
It is. But it looks the same.
And how was it? I was gonna say, how was it working with Kimora and Cornbread on something like this?
Wonderful. I love the two of them. Kimora, I had never had the chance to really meet before we started filming. I just knew how gorgeous she was. And really, like, when you're thinking about a drag version of Sarah Sanderson, like, you want to find somebody that really kind of grasps how beautiful she is, but also how wicked and kind of vapid. And I was like, oh my God, Kimora Hall would be perfect for this. And then my first day meeting her in the hotel, she's just starting like to fangirl over me. And I'm like, we're on the same show, Mary. Like, we're doing And she said, you don't understand. And sometimes I forget. It's been almost a decade since I like first stepped into the workroom. So a lot of these girls that are coming through in the newer seasons, we are like the legends to them. And it's nice to be reminded that you do have that kind of impact on people, you know? So that was lovely. And then Cornbread and I had gotten a chance to work together. I have a cooking show with Jiggly called Wigs in a Blanket, and it's on Out TV. And our big season finale this past season was a drag brunch. And Cornbread was the first time I got to meet her. She came along and she's part of it. And she's so funny. She's just so naturally funny and so beautiful too. It drives me crazy a little bit.
All three of you are.
You're sweet.
And obviously, clearly you love this movie. You also have a cover of I Put a Spell on You coming out. Just how is that daunting to tackle, just knowing how many great vocalists have covered that before, and how in the zeitgeist it will be again because of the new movie? I
don't think that it was ever daunting for me. It was more daunting for me that every Halloween, every drag show and every bar across the entire world does a production number to Hocus Pocus. And it's always the same version. It's the Bette Midler version, but we haven't changed that up in 30 years. Some of us like to sing it live and it's not in the right key. So I thought, you know what, now's a perfect time for me to kind of take ownership of this, put my own little spin on it, and do it as kind of a love letter to the drag community. Like, here's something new that you can take and you can do your production shows with this, just to change it up a little bit.
And I'm sure we're going to get a music video as well. What can we maybe expect there?
The video is everything that you know and love and expect, but with a couple of really big surprises. So it's something that we've taken. We definitely paid tribute to what everybody fell in love with, but we've made it our own complete.
And I'm sure you're doing the same thing with the tour. If you want to talk a little bit about that, what might we see there? What can we expect? I'm mad you're not going to be in LA.
You know, we've tried so hard to get a date in LA, and it's, well, anybody that's ever tried to get a date in LA will tell you it is difficult. We've got some more plans throughout the year to make some stops in LA on some different tours, but didn't work out for this one, unfortunately. I never would have thought about putting together an entire Hocus Pocus tour, like a stage show. But Bette Midler was very vocal about how much she enjoyed my interpretation of her. So she gave me her blessing and kind of said, all right, now take this and run with it. So my best friend Gidget Galore, you know, we've done a bunch of tours together. She's playing Mary Sanderson. She made all of our costumes. They're so gorgeous. And we've got one of our good friends, Mr. and Miss Adrian, who plays Sophia in our Golden Girls show that we do. We were like, you know what, let's put it together. So it's got the pieces from the first movie that everybody knows and loves, pieces from the second movie that I know are going to become iconic, but it's a wholly original story. It's an hour-long stage show with a new story with a lot of great moments. A lot of songs.
I will be keeping an eye out for video.
If you've ever wanted to know what the Sanderson sisters sound like while they sing WAP, this is your chance.
I have. And, you know, you did touch on this a little bit, but obviously you've done Drag Race, you've done All Stars twice. We keep getting all these new shows, UK versus the World. We've had, you know, the new version of the Celebrity Drag Race.
Which I'm so glad they finally like unveiled Danny Franzese, because I kept getting tagged, and which is funny because like I knew it was Danny because Danny's one of my really good friends. I'm just looking at it going, Mary, that is definitely Danny Franzese. But everybody kept tagging me week after week. Are you sure this isn't you?
They're painting her like you. That's why.
I am 3 feet shorter than she is. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought that
no, that's funny because I mean, I definitely noticed that too. Just the way that they painted her was very ginger, I think.
Yeah, which hey, I was very flattered.
But would you, I guess, what other shows maybe would you still want to pop up on? You kind of said all of them, so.
Oh my God, like I'll do anything, honestly. I love being a part of Drag Race. I love the brand. I love the people that run it. It's been a part of my life for almost a full decade at this point. So it's hard to remember a time where Drag Race wasn't like this overarching factor in my story. Yeah, like the one good thing about not winning is that I can always go back again.
Well, and even there, once you win, you could come back for all winners.
Exactly. So the
cycle continues.
As long as there is stretch fabric to be had, I will show up.